it's Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we are building on a 20 by 15 lot in Willow Creek and we're building a tiny house. I recently got the Tiny Living stuff pack and so I wanted to do a build that was just base game and tiny living and kind of like see everything that came with the pack, which it really actually didn't have as much stuff as I thought it did, but that's okay. It was still really cool stuff. I love all the colors and everything that came with it. So yeah, this is a limited build. It's base game and tiny living. So the thing about tiny houses is that I have built tiny houses before, and for some reason more than any of my other builds, I usually am totally fine as I'm building the tiny house, and then in the end I really don't like it, and I don't know why that is. That does happen to me on other builds, but for some reason it always seems to happen with the tiny houses. But this one, you know, I was really happy with it as I was building, but when I kind of got done with it and was looking at it, it looked a little bit more quirky than I thought it was going to. I don't know. Maybe I just keep building weird houses. Maybe I should just build a normal tiny house and then I would be happy with it. But I was a little bit disappointed, and that's okay though. I enjoyed building it. But you can see we've already made the shell of the house basically, and you'll see when we get on the inside that I'm actually going to have to add they're not rooms, but I have to add a couple more walls, because originally I had the roofs kind of extended out to where the little area was covered, but it wasn't enclosed, if that makes sense. And anyway, as I was building, I started noticing that when you actually could see that roof, like it had cracks in it, even though it didn't actually have any cracks like in the exterior. For some reason the game was just showing like you could see that trees through the roofs, if that makes any sense at all. But so basically I had to change that. I had to add some more walls, and we add a couple more roofs also, but it looks a little bit different in the end, but it's still basically the same thing. And this is just the little outdoor area. I didn't really know what to do with this area, so decided just to make it into like a little kind of back garden area. And this house also is a starter home, but it's just a little bit too expensive to be a starter home for one sim. So you do need 2 sims for it to be a starter home. It has the Murphy bed, and I didn't realize until I was playtesting this build that your sims can actually like move over to the inside of a bed, like if it's placed on a wall. I always thought that if it was placed on a wall, then only one sim could use it. So I think that's really cool that actually you'll see when we get on the inside, the Murphy bed is placed up against the wall. So I think it's really cool that 2 sims can still use this build. But yeah, if you're playing with 2 sims, this is a starter house because it's like 28,000 simoleons, I believe. So it's pretty cheap. You still have a little bit more room to spend some money also. But yeah, basically the landscaping is really simple. I tried to use, as usual, I tried to use some of the plants and stuff that you can kind of see around the build already in the world, but the landscaping just is really simple. I don't know, I never really struggled to landscape in Sulani. If you guys have been around for a while, you know that I love island living builds, and I never really struggle with Sulani landscaping, but for some reason when I kind of move out of there, I start struggling a lot more with the landscaping. So now we're on the inside and you can actually see kind of what I'm talking about. So I had these little spaces, and that's what I was going to use just as part of the room, but you can already see as we're building that there's like these, you can see the outside, and I don't know why, because the roofs are enclosed. So I have no idea what was going on with that, but I didn't like the way it looked, and I knew I wouldn't like it in the tour, so I went on and enclosed those. In a little while we'll go on and just close those into rooms. But yeah, this is basically the inside of the house. Other than changing that, this is basically how it looks. This is the bathroom right here, so I did go on and enclose that. A lot of times with tiny houses I feel like you can leave the bathroom open, but I don't know why, for some reason with this one I wanted to just go on and give it its own little room. But yeah, the bathroom's really simple. I just used there's no sink in it. There's a sink in the kitchen, so that's the only sink, but yeah, I just wanted to keep it pretty simple, and I used, like I said, I was using base game and Tiny Living, so there wasn't just a whole lot of decoration. We basically used Tiny Living decorations on the walls, and I really loved the like painting that came with Tiny Living. I've seen that in so many other people's builds, like with just the plain leaf, and that's what we're placing now. But they have like one of the variations of that painting is like just like greenery, and I think it's so cool and so simple, and I'm so glad that it came with this pack because I absolutely love it. But yeah, and it has so many other options too, like to go along with that painting. That's basically the only painting that I used in this build, so you can tell that I really like it. But yeah, this is the little kitchen area. It's super small, and we changed the wallpaper a couple times throughout this build, but it's basically just like orange and blue is the colors that we went with. And yeah, I think it's while we're working on the kitchen maybe that we go on and close those rooms. So there's going to be like more clutter and wall decor in a little bit. But yeah, like I said, it's really small, and I really want to get better at building tiny houses, so I'm going to keep trying to build them. But yeah, I did play test this, and it is functional. Everything seemed to work okay. There was one thing as I was playtesting, the front door worked completely fine until I had my sim playtest the Murphy bed, and then when I put the Murphy bed back up, my sim like refused to use the front door at that point. So I don't know if that's just something that kind of glitched in my game, or if maybe that's a problem in the build, but they do use the back door. I don't know if that would bother you guys. Like I said, originally when I was playtesting, the front door worked, and then it just kind of stopped, and I moved a few things around, but I couldn't really figure out what was going on, and so I just went with it because there is a functional door in this build. But yeah, you can see I'm basically just using all different kind of items from Tiny Living. I think they're so cool. Like I said, I absolutely love the colors that came with this pack, and yeah, I just wanted to kind of do a build that I kind of checked out everything that came with Tiny Living. And so now we've enclosed these rooms. As you can tell, I skipped a little bit of footage there, but that is basically why we did it. I just didn't like that you could see outdoors through the it's not a window, through the wall. And I don't know why I don't know why it happened like that, but I just would rather change it. And then where we just placed those paintings, that's actually going to be a window before it's over. But yeah, that's basically the inside of the house. It's really small. Like I said, for the most part, it works. I'm not sure what was going on with the front door, but I have no idea. But I went on and just left it there because I could not figure out what was going on. And usually sometimes I just get frustrated and then stop trying to move it around. You know, usually after a little while of trying to change it and it not working, it just gets frustrating. So I think it will probably work for you guys. It may not. Like I said, I think it's something that went wrong when I used the Murphy bed, but I have no idea. And then this is just a little outdoor seating area. It's nothing special. I just basically was filling up the yard. You know, the 20 by 15 lot seems so small until you actually go to like trying to fill in the yard. But yeah, basically all we have left is just some landscaping. Like I said, we're just going to try to pull some debug items that look similar to the kind of plants that are already around this house, and that's basically it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about this build that I can think of. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm going to keep trying to get better at tiny houses because, I don't know, all my tiny houses turn out a little bit weird, but I'm going to keep working on that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this build anyway. You can let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching.